You ever had to make a tough decision in your life?
Yeah, I have to decide if I'm going to fire you every other day.
I'm still here.
Sadly.
Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon Kingdom. I'm David.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are talking about whiskeys of the year.
Whiskey of the year. It's finally here after a long debate.
It was a long debate.
After fighting over the dumbest of bottles.
Yeah. It's okay. We can fight over dumb bottles.
After trying some of the most delicious of bottles.
That is true.
I like how we're both sitting here having to drink water. We're not even drinking whiskey because we drink whiskey.
Yeah, we had to drink water. We had to drink whiskey to decide which whiskeys were the best. Today we are going to go 20 to 11.
Yeah, so we got, just to fill you all in how we did everything, we got our list down to everything we reviewed today, either on a live stream or by a review itself. Basically, roughly, what we did was we went through a process of elimination.
About 40 bottles.
No, we had more than that.
Yeah, however many.
We probably had about 50 at one point in time. Yeah. And we went through and we got it down to our top 32. And out of those top 32, we're only doing a top 20. So I mean, we eliminated some really good bottles. I mean, truthfully, we eliminated some good bottles. All right. So to kind of break it down how we did it, what we decided to do, because we had, like I said, we had these 32 bottles that we debated. And one of the ways to make it easier on us was we were only going to take one of, the release of that year. So, for example, only one of the Stag Juniors or Stag,
whichever
one
way
of
it is.
The discoveries, not Discovery Series, one of the Four Roses barrel strengths that was released at the distillery, like the limited, not just like the individuals, to make it easier on us and to also just at that point in time we were looking to try to make any kind of cheat and easy on us, and we took the best of those and we threw those in. The other ones we put out. Also, hit the like, subscribe, notifications.
All that good stuff.
So, all right, let's start with number 20 and one of the most hotly debated bottles on this list.
It wasn't debated because
we debated this harder than what we did our top 4.
I told him that this was on here, and he wouldn't. We just reviewed this. He hated it. I don't know if he hated it. He didn't like it.
I didn't hate it.
But
I just debate if it's top 20.
It is. It is officially top 20.
I mean, I guess he technically isn't wrong.
Top 20. This is the Jack Daniel's twice barreled. This is an Oloroso sherry cask. This is my jam. If you watch the review, this was my jam. I like this pretty well, honestly. And I was really, really happy with it. One of my favorite of the year, honestly. So I don't have anything else to say about it other than I got it on the top 20. Yes.
First off, y'all know how much we love Jack Daniel's here.
We do love Jack
Huge
Daniel's.
fans. Yeah. This wouldn't have made my top 20. This wouldn't have made my top 32.
Actually, it would because it did.
It wasn't the worst bottle I tried all year, though.
No.
I just want to make that clear. It's not that I hate it. Just it wouldn't have made it.
Stay tuned for another video. Fair. All right. That at 20.
That's 20.
At 19, you all know our love for Bardstown, especially the Discovery series. This is Discovery 8. Probably of all the discoveries that were released this year, this was our favorite one.
Yes, and this is the toasted one too, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I believe
this is the toasted one. This to me was like wild and awesome, and I love the idea of it. Discovery series always, for me, it's always one of my favorite releases. Every year, it's one that I always look forward to for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah,
very different.
Yeah,
love how they get to this point where they have like the big competition and they all try to figure out within the distillery and stuff. I thought it was great. I still think it's great.
Yeah.
And
I agree with that.
9 is also really good. I just think 8's better.
It is. I do agree with that. I think 8's better. Now, here is probably the one that wouldn't have made my top 20. I like this, but it wouldn't have made my top 20. Nothing against it. It's the Chattanooga, isn't it? The Bottle and Bond.
Yeah, it's the Bottle and Bond.
Yeah,
and it is I believe it's the spring.
Yeah, it is the spring.
It's the spring edition one.
Nothing against it. It's a fine bourbon. It's a fine whiskey, whatever. But It kind of insignificant to me. I thought it was decent when we tried it and we reviewed it, but it didn't like blow me out of the water or anything like that.
I'm gonna sneak this into a blind this year for Dave. I bet you it wins.
It did go into a blind. It went into our Advent.
No, I think that was the Founders.
Oh, was that the Founders?
Yeah, that was the Founders.
Okay.
That was a different bottle.
All right.
Couldn't get that one.
Yeah,
but this phenomenal.
He really likes it, which I'm happy. Like, I mean, we both had to fight for a bottle.
They're doing great. Oh, I didn't fight for greatness, but they didn't. You know, they didn't have to. I cannot express enough with Chattanooga whiskey. Like, they do such great things. If you do not have, or if you have not tried them yet, give them an opportunity.
Yeah, you definitely should try it.
These sat on the shelves for a while around here for us after we didn't get them for a while, and they're fantastic. I have a couple of them. Great,
really good. 2098, 17 on our list is, I mean, it's a rye.
Hard Truth.
Hard Truth.
How much more can I preach to you guys about this? This thing is phenomenal. Crushes, destroys.
Yeah, I tried to make him choose one of the Chattanooga or the Hard Truth, but he got his way and got both of them in here.
I can't help that I know good whiskey. We proved this during Advent.
That is true. We did prove that. We proved that I have a gutter palate, and we proved that Zach is the best. Anyway.
Best rye I've had all year.
Best rye, and I mean, stay tuned. There could be some other ryes on here. There could be.
Where?
All right, probably not.
Yeah, that's why I said best rye all year.
Best rye of the year.
Hard Truth. It's up in Indiana. It's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
Guys, for everybody who has not had it, go get it.
Yeah. Next on our list at 16 is the Barrel Cask Strength Batch 33.
Yep.
And we told you when we reviewed this was, we thought Barrel knew what they had in their bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why they got it into everybody's hands, which I think is true. They did. And so we appreciated that. And it's not on here because they gave it to us. It's on here because it stands on its own merit of being a really, really, really good blended bourbon, and super happy about it.
Surprise of the year?
Yes.
Debatable?
Yeah. No, I don't even know that's debatable. It's probably the surprise of the year.
Well, like, I'm just saying, like, in the conversation, like, where this came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Barrel just knocked out of the park.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, this thing crushes. This is, in my opinion, the best Barrel product I've ever had in my life. And I think in a lot of ways, it's better than Barrel Seagrass.
Yes.
And I love Barrel Seagrass.
I think where Barrel Seagrass is like this quirky little monster that you want to drink every once in a while. And it's like, oh, okay, I've had my fill of that.
Mm-hmm.
This is, to me, crushable.
Yep.
And like you don't have to get tired of drinking this.
No,
I think that's the cool thing about this.
Yeah, I think it's utterly great.
Yeah, for sure. Next on our list is Stag. Staggy.
Just Stag.
Just Staggy.
Just Stag.
The junior used to be on there somewhere, but he's disappeared because he turned 18 and he is
grown.
He's a grown adult. Again, you guys, if you've watched our channel at all, you know that we like Stag a lot. It's
especially me.
Yeah, I like it a lot too. It's not my favorite of the things that I drink, but I do enjoy it. That blind we got in the Advent, was that batch 4 or batch 3, one of the two?
Something like that, yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
Yeah, unbelievable. This in its own right, like, these are just so good. Best value, and I'll say it over and over again, best value for a bourbon to me.
Super great. Down. They have 2 batches basically released a year. They are super hard to find. Mm-hmm. And they've become harder to find, even though there's actually a ton of bottles of this. Like, in each batch, there's like a really good chunk of bottles.
Yeah.
And overall, whenever you think about it, whenever you add all the batches together, there's still a lot of them that are released. And now, even with the single barrel picks, they're still impossible to find. So I get it. But again,
if you get your hands on them, you get your hands on them. What was that? That was like 14?
I don't know.
13, 11. I don't know. That's like 15?
Something like that?
20, 19, 18, 19, 16, 15. That was 15.
15. So 14.
14, you love how we do our things.
Our real time.
This is the Old Forester President's Choice, batch 22.
Yep.
We took this to Pours in the Park.
Yep, this is actually the bottle. So we crushed the bottle up there in Michigan. I actually had samples. I traded samples of another PC with a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
And then I re-poured them in there just to be able to have them. Because I remember when I tried it up there, I was like, man, this is really, really good.
Yeah. Not reminded me, but how good batch 18 was.
Oh, 18.
Yeah.
18, such a special
sitting
gal.
back there. It's sitting back there somewhere over
gone.
here. It's almost gone. So good. But yeah, just phenomenal bottle. I mean, they always do. These President's Choice, you can't really go wrong with them. But when they get them super right, and I think with 22, they got it super right.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
22 is really good.
So that was 14. 13 is...
Talking about Old Forester.
Old Forester. This is the Whiskey Row Fire.
Yep.
Of the 117 series, which again we just we love the 117 series, and they're all good. And they're all good
for sure.
But I mean, we had all of them sitting out here except for Warehouse K.
We didn't put that one. Yeah, but we had it was a debate between this and the 1910 Extra Old.
Yeah.
I think this one's better.
I agree with you.
And we both agreed. Oh, we still have not done a blind. We still need to do a blind sometime this year of like our top 4 favorites.
Yeah.
And decide. But this to me is like, if Old Forester would put some more age on it, like around 7 years, because it's around 70 years old. The fruit that comes out of that.
Yeah.
Man, and this is, I think it's 100 proof. Yeah, this is 100 proof. Just the amount of fruit that comes out of that to me is wild. Yeah. It's nothing like they're I don't want to say it's like birthday bourbon or whatever, but it's so different, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Proud of it.
Really good. Yeah. All right, and then the Four Roses Ellie limited release. This is 12 on our list. This is just a really funky bottle.
It is. Four roses. Like it's very different.
Yeah.
Different profile. I love the maple that's on there.
Yes.
For me, I get so much of like a really rich maple bar on there, and it stands out to me. I think it's really, really good.
Yeah, I honestly, of the Four Roses releases, this was one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah.
I just think they do such a phenomenal job. Anyway, if you all watched our channel at all in 2022, you know that we have like had this growing love affair with Four Roses, and it's just only increased over this year.
Well, Four Roses over the last 2 years has taken it to a whole nother level with some of their allocation.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is I think this kind of gets, for this year, I think this bottle almost gets swept a little bit aside to some of the limited barrel strengths.
Well, it's because they released a 20-year, an 18.5-year, a 16-year.
Yeah.
And so when you release all those, not to mention...
And if you got really lucky, you got to try that 19-year charity bottle.
Yeah. And I did not get lucky. So it is what it is. All right. So number 11, and to round out this list for today.
Shocked this bottle didn't make top 10. I was telling Dave this. Like, I'm honestly surprised it didn't make top 10.
So as we're sitting here, this Wild Turkey 12-year, this is like a Japanese-only release or whatever. Zach, one of the things Zach said was, he was like, man, I'm super surprised that this didn't make the top 10. And when you see our top 10, like looking at our bottles just lumped on the table, and you start moving things around and trying to figure out what's going to be in the top 20, what's going to be, what's going to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Like the more we started seeing bottles, the more I just, for myself, I knew it was going to be, like, I didn't think it would make it to the top 11. But, I mean, it's so good. Like, we're haggling over a top 20 here.
No, I agree.
And this comes in at 11. So it's not like it was that far off from top 10.
Well, it's funny. It's like whenever you start blinding and you start comparing bottles with one another.
Yeah.
And you start realizing, you're like, man, like that beats that. Like, I would be shocked that beats that. And then, you just keep going through. And I just thought, like, this bottle here is just so phenomenal. Like, it's such a great drinker. And it's so, especially being a Wild Turkey fan like I am.
Yes.
I just assumed. And I'm saying all this like I'm sad. I'm not sad.
Yeah.
Because I don't disagree with any of our top 10 whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this bottle is literally so great. I'm just shocked.
You know what's funny is when
10.
we reviewed it, I really, really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody gave it to us on Advent, I didn't enjoy it, and I don't know what it was. Yeah, you loved it. So at the end of the day, he was surprised. I wasn't really necessarily surprised that it didn't make the top 10, but it's so good and so perfect. Tell us what's in your top 20, if you have top 20.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear what your 20 through 11 were.
Let us know what we got right, what we got wrong, and stay tuned because this week we're putting out our top 10.
Yep. So we'll see you next time.
See you.